guys, welcome back to another episode of Airway Sim. Today we're just going to be doing some niggly little tasks, mostly in regards to my 757, to which I have mostly just lying around doing nothing, despite them being my best planes. Now, the reason I haven't gotten around to scheduling them is simply because I haven't really had the time, but right now I do, and the first thing I want to do is, of course, convert every single non-freighter into a freighter. We do not need any passenger variants. It's simply not a great passenger variant. It's not bad in a pinch. If you don't have A320s, if you don't have 737s available to you as a fleet, perhaps you're going double very large, like both 767 and A330, or maybe A350 plus 767, something like that. And of course, 757 for me is a must-fly for any cargo base. So yeah, if you're in that situation I just described, you could use a 757 as a cargo aircraft, as a passenger aircraft. But otherwise, it is just a cargo supremacy machine. Once again, and I've mentioned this many times before, it is the best aircraft in the game, and it is in this episode I'm gonna schedule a lot of my aircraft, which I'm gonna use like with the intention of competing to slowly whittle away at my main opponent, Supreme Airlines. Supreme Airlines is a vastly profitable airline now that there was a major bankruptcy that we saw in the last episode, Tokyo losing hundreds and hundreds of aircraft. But it's pretty hard for me to take advantage of that right now. I don't have the size, I don't have the profitability, and I don't have enough 757s, so we're gonna go ahead and just open some flights today and just slowly get started on competing with this guy. It's gonna be a long time before I can do any real damage to him, and most of his damage is gonna come from himself, in the sense that I'm relying on his overutilization of too many fleets to hurt himself, rather than my domination in any kind of way. I'm also going to have to compete with his passenger operations in order to kill him. Yeah, unluckily for me, I don't have a good passenger type right now available to me, so it's going to be a while before I can add any sort of competition to passengers, which I'm going to need to do damage to him, because otherwise his passengers are just going to be printing money, which means I won't be able to print any money. So I'll use Cold Bay as the perfect midpoint for stopping, especially to the western United States, which I should get very, very close to a full payload. See, we have to take up 2210. And yeah, so why is the 757, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, why is it the best aircraft in the entire game? Well, simply speaking, it allows you to reach most of the world in 2 stops, and from most hubs in 1 stop, actually it will be able to reach most of the relevant world. And then while reaching the whole world, it's very versatile. It fits into every airport. It's big enough so that it can serve larger airports without losing out on economies of scale and that kind of thing. Like, you don't need too many flights to make it profitable, or you don't need too many flights to cover demand. But it's also a small enough aircraft so that it can reasonably serve smaller airports. It's level 2. It needs a relatively short runway for its payload. And yeah, it's just for so many reasons, it's such an efficient aircraft for the amount of cargo it holds. It's classified, very importantly, as a large aircraft and not a very large aircraft in this game. Very large aircraft have to have more expensive crew members. They need airports with better facilities. That's not the airport I want to select. They need airports with better facilities to fly to, so level 3 airports. It's completely arbitrary and made up by this game. For example, why did I do Anchorage again? I don't want Anchorage. What's the thing for Cold Bay? Just type in cold. typed in? Okay, whatever. I probably typed in Pank and wasn't paying attention. And CYXJ. Airport St. John. And on the way back, we can do a single stop in Anchorage. So yeah, as I was saying, it being able to access level 2 aircraft cargo market is another enormous factor in its dominance. In fact, it's probably the biggest factor. Another is the fact that it can easily compete with anyone flying larger aircraft. If somebody else is flying MD-11, for example, I will simply add a flight on my 757, and what's going to happen is the demand is going to split evenly until my aircraft is full between me and the MD-11. And of course, since I have lower operating costs, I will be more profitable. This division of demand by frequency is kind of extremely unrealistic. In real life, the demand was divided among based on the cost and the supply of space in the aircraft, not some arbitrary factor like frequency or number of flights. I mean, the timing of the said individual flights would matter a ton. For cargo airlines, because of like overnight shipping and stuff, they have to arrive at certain places in certain times. So in some sense, you would say that, for this reason, frequency should have an effect because there's more available takeoff times. But it's not really how logistics actually tends to work. It's more or less that each logistics company like FedEx or UPS, they have to run their own super hubs because the timing at which they require for their connecting flights and stuff to work to be able to deliver overnight shipping is so intricate that a random company like a passenger airline flying some belly cargo or something would have to just be perfectly at the right place at the right time to do the same job, which is possible, but it's probably not the case. That's also why I see this like domination of the market by these airlines like FedEx and UPS. Is it requires a large base fleet to be able to deliver so fast and so reliably. And very importantly too, in real life, you need large fleets sitting around because most aircraft, if you notice for FedEx, are like MD-11, 757s. They're ancient aircraft. They're so old. And the reason why they use such old aircraft is because the daily utilization is terrible. You don't want to buy, what's it called, a brand new, very efficient 777F or 747F if it's going to be used 2.5 hours a day to fly between Memphis and freaking like Dallas or something. That's just a waste of money. Instead, you get a really, really cheap ND-11, which is much less efficient, but it can fly away almost as big of a payload. But it costs nothing to you. And that's the kind of route which, or that's the kind of reason why you see logistics companies like FedEx and UPS use such old aircraft. It's simply because they sit around most of the day just waiting to do their one flight at the exact correct time to allow their one-day shipping and stuff to work, which I think is awesome. Now, of course, you'll know, for example, UPS is one of the few companies which still has active orders for like the 747 747-8 intercontinental freighter. I don't know its exact name, but the reason why they're able to offer the why they need to buy such expensive aircraft and still make it profitable and work like that is because they use it for their trunk routes between Asia and the United States, usually via Alaska, via Anchorage or something like that. So that is the rare exception where they do need the most efficient aircraft possible, because it's just about delivering a high payload all the freaking damn time. So yeah, that's kind of an exception to the rule though. More often than not, especially for the domestic flights, it's just old aircraft, bought cheap. And you have a little bit of a problem here. So this flight takes off at 21:20. I know what to do here. So we're gonna remove route from schedule, and we're just gonna fly a shorter route. Should we take Denver? Nah, let's not take Denver. I need to find something between the length of Detroit, but longer than Denver. It's actually a pretty tough range to find a route in. I don't know if it exists. Hold up, Chicago. Don't want to flight to Chicago. Most of the flights are made by MD-11s, so yes, and by Supreme Airlines, so it's a double yes. Let's create another route like this, 2220, and we'll see if we need to squeeze the turnaround times just a couple minutes on each side to make sure this route will fit, but I don't think I'll need to. Arrival time at 6:15, yeah, I don't think I'll need to. Yeah, we'll just keep the size bounds like this. I highly doubt it'll be completely full anyway. It's gonna be just not completely full. Oh, and this needs to take off at 6, not 7. And now it should fit. 7:25. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm pretty sure that's off by 5 minutes. I'll try just in case I saw something wrong, but oh, pretty right now. Oh my gosh, that's 5 minutes off. This is a tragedy. I thought I didn't need to compress the route any, but I was off by 5 minutes, guys. By 5 darn minutes. There's no way, guys. Oh wow. What was it? It's 10, 20. Oh, it's 11:20. Oh, 7:20. Okay, I'm tired, guys. I need to go to sleep. Yeah, I've been trying to get my sleep schedule good again, so I've actually been sleeping at reasonable times of the day instead of my normal extreme hours. So yeah, I mean, I think after this 7-day schedule, I'm gonna go to sleep. I kind of did what I wanted to do. Wanted to explain why I thought the 757 was the best plane in the game. Oh, is this an edit route? Oh, that's not what I meant to click. I meant to click create a new route like this. Perfect. There we go. And now we can click create each day as a separate route. Succeed in my slot acquisition. Oh man. Well, that's a bummer. We can go ahead then and just place our routes in, and obviously since we cannot schedule, we'll have to edit every single route we need to put in. For my darn messed up Chicago. They seriously need to add a route from this page, but you know, there's an infinite number of quality of life changes that people want but cannot be implemented due to the fact this game has a single developer. Yeah, it would be nice if, like, I don't think this game makes enough to hire another developer. The game is kind of on too small of a scale to require a second developer, but kind of it's too big for a single developer. Yeah, if there's only a single developer like there is now, we get really, really slow changes. And we don't get any quality of life changes because the game has to focus on more eye-catchy like features in order to keep people interested, which is kind of an unfortunate side effect of just the size of the game. You know, it's too small for 2 people, it's too big for 1 person. Yeah, I mean, this game really needs new players. If you guys want to check it out, highly recommend it. It's not a cheap game to play. It costs about $100 a year to play, just one world. But honestly, for the amount of entertainment you can get out of it, it's not bad at all. Oh, I forgot to edit this route. I think so, at least. That's the only reason why it wouldn't fit, right? Yeah. But yeah, for the amount of entertainment at least I get out of this game, I think the price is worth it. heard this song before. Yeah, you can tell that my brain is starting to get pretty scattered due to the hour. I'm actually going to add these 7 days off camera. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick episode. I think it was one of the better episodes, besides being quick. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.